About to get my Cinema Stash rehash on.
Let's go!
What?
Oh, yeah.
Podcasting from Chico, California, and home of the world's largest functional yo-yo. They are Cinema Stash Rehash. Join them as they talk movies, make fun of them, and discover how they fuel your everyday life paranoia. Let me welcome you to...
Holy crap, we're back again. It's so good to be back again. Every time they allow us to be back here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. It's Chris. I'm here with my friends Wyatt Campbell and Jason McClendon.
Hello.
And we're going to do a movie that I found to be one of my favorites as a child. It was my favorite. And growing up, it's one of those movies I watch, and it comes back to me where I can call that movie. If it came out today, I think it would be a movie worth watching. And if they changed the songs, and what the movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original.
Yes,
and of course,
1990.
we only do originals here, so
yes.
But yeah, no, it's a great. It's one of those movies that's stuck with me as a kid, and watching it at 31 years old right now, and it's still fantastic. And I wanted to see what my fellow Stashers thought about it. So here we go.
Fucking awesome.
Oh, it still holds true to the heart. I mean,
the costumes, the makeup, the Jim Henson workshop influence on it is just badass. It holds up so much to the point where like my thing is like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles makeup in the original is kind of like it's like the scenario on the Giza Plateau with the pyramids, where the best pyramids ever built were the oldest ones, and then everything from that point on went downhill in terms of craftsmanship.
Oh God, you're right.
And that's the way I feel about with the Turtles movies. And this is the Great Pyramid of Turtle movies. It's just,
it's weird. It's like they did it right, which is just strange to
I mean, there's some weird stuff in it, but it's an awesome.
There's some strange stuff, and it's fairly violent for
it's very violent
for a kids movie. It's pretty violent, and so
it was funny to think about. I mean, even Jim Henson, like you said, they did the puppeteering work and everything, and after they viewed the movie, I mean, even Jim Henson was like, he actually didn't like the film. It was too violent. It was too dark, and that was a lot of complaint coming right off the the cartoon.
Oh, sure.
Which was just light and funny and hearted and lighthearted.
Yeah, in the cartoon, I mean, Casey Jones wasn't trying to fuck April O'Neil, and that's like,
well, he probably was. He was. It's just, I thought it was implied for sure.
How could they do that in a '90s cartoon?
No, I mean the funny part to the movie to me was Shredder's costume. Take away Shredder's costume, and I think literally the animatronics were fantastic.
The Shredder, they should have just filmed from the shoulders up the entire movie and not shown him walking down that hallway looking like Prince with shoulder pads on.
It took a little bit, but
could you imagine being Shredder's tailor though? I couldn't even imagine that.
So, Mr. Shredder, as your tailor, I have some questions about your possible costume or outfit. So, what do you got?
Oh, I want spikes. Oh. I want spikes on my helmet and shoulders and knees and
toes,
arms.
Oh, okay.
On my helmet, I want spikes and a wicker.
What?
Yeah, a wicker will be awesome.
Okay.
Just wicker. Oh, and I want pink chainmail.
Oh my fucking god.
Man, that'll be menacing.
Okay.
Oh, and I want it to look loose and awkward when I walk.
Oh boy.
What? What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. I just think it's kind of pretty.
Now I gotta find a new tailor.
Coming up with that costume was ridiculous.
Yeah,
there'd be some pressure there, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it seems like you'd have to alter it a lot with a lot of new stitches because there's a lot of rips and.
But really, this movie compared to the cartoon. This movie pays big credit to the original comic book. The black and white one came out in '84, but the graphic novels, which I actually have here, all of them, book 1 through 4, and Shredder is very much so pink in that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and it's
totally.
so funny to
Yeah.
think of like this menacing character, and he's in this like pink chainmail-ish whatever, and the only thing that bugs the shit out of me, well, besides the pinkness, but is the wicker on his helmet. Like they couldn't do some sort of like shaping of sheet metal or something like that. It had to be like a wicker style. Like
I didn't mind his helmet. I thought his shoulder blades were fine and his wrist guards were okay.
So it's the pinkness that bugged you.
No, it was just like the robe. I don't know. It was just
To me, it was like his introduction when they're just showing like him with his cloak on and his helmet, and it's very subtle and kind of ominous. He looked pretty badass, but then when he's storming down the hall to go talk to Splinter after Splinter talked to Danny or whatever,
Yeah.
he just looks like a bitch that's got like some spikes on him, and he's like upset, So, I mean, I think that, and that maybe that's just because the way he was presented to me as a kid in the cartoon was a big guy and not like just a guy with spikes on.
I know this is number one, but number two had Splinter be a little better looking, like a little, a little more fearful, a little more fear inspiring. So
Yeah.
I think it might have just been a slip up of costume, because that was pretty much the only thing they did wrong. I mean, I liked Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And then actor's been in a bunch of things, and it's actually fun to go back and watch that movie and see actual actors that come to Sam Rockwell was in it. As the main bull. It was just kind of funny.
Head thug number one.
He was the head thug number one. He had some lines in it, so it was good.
Oh yeah.
And I think April was a great cast for the first one. I mean, I know she didn't get cast in the second one, but
see, I completely disagree.
Really,
with that.
I thought she was really pretty, and I liked her.
I hated her as April.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, to me, I didn't think she fit the character. Like she had red hair, but it was super permed. And like if you think about it, if this is based anything off of the cartoon at all or whatever, she had like some night.
Yeah, I don't mind.
By the way,
we're talking about yellow jacket.
We're talking about Judith Hogue here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Judith. I thought Judith was. She was a good actress, and I thought she was pretty. She had a spunky attitude, and
if
I thought she played a good April. Maybe they didn't give her the puffy red hair and the yellow jacket.
Where was the yellow jumpsuit?
Well,
it was a jumpsuit.
Yes,
but yes,
they were trying to do that, but she was so appalled by the idea of wearing this jumpsuit that she was like, no. She was the one that pretty much kiboshed the yellow jumpsuit. Yeah, so
it was probably
they threw the homage to it with the yellow rain jacket.
I wonder how Laird and Eastman felt about that.
Well, maybe that's the reason why she wasn't asked back for the second one.
Yeah,
I just heard that she was actually very.
But they didn't even have an April O'Neil in the second one, which was
they did.
Did they?
Yeah. She was actually.
That's
thought
right.
The
I remember
casting of her should have been casted as the first. She had still like a red amberish hair, but it was a little longer than usual. Like it should have been more shoulder length. But
and she was just hotter.
She was. Yeah, she was exactly.
I mean, Judith Hogue, good looking, but she didn't really scream like what April O'Neil was presented to me as a kid.
Well.
But you probably weren't looking to bang her either. So.
I watched.
Casey Jones was.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
I will say this: I watched the cartoon in the late '80s, early '90s cartoon.
Yeah.
You flipped open those packages of graphic novels. I've never seen those before. So.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm not a big comic book reader. I've never been a comic book guy.
So
to me, April was fine. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
No, yeah. I mean,
to each his own.
Well, it wasn't necessarily from the comic. It was
cute,
it was mostly just from actually the TV show. Because I mean, I've had these for a long time, but I mean.
Okay, there's a scene where Casey Jones starts like to rub her shoulders, and she like knocks him away, and then she like forcibly grabs her shoulders over. Well, he starts rubbing her shoulders, and then after that scene, she kind of perks up a little bit, and she's adorable. I thought so I had a crush on her when I was little.
Really?
When I was like 12, 13 years old watching the movie.
I was just like, these are two dogs in heat right here. Man. They were like, I mean, if the turtles weren't there, they would have been boning away.
They probably did. They're just turtles.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of deleted scenes from the farmhouse. Like, it does really focus more on like the whole love scenario between them.
I didn't see many deleted scenes, so I'm excited to see those. I looked for them.
I mean, I'm not sure if I just read this, so I mean, I'm not like 100% sure if it's like completely deleted scenes, like they shot them, or if it was just deleted from the script or whatever.
I gotcha.
But
I want to see. I mean, I saw the making and stuff, but I never saw the different deleted.
So to actually, like, talk about the movie a little bit, like, I mean, even like the opening scene,
Yeah.
You open the scene and it's like just that gritty, like, shit's going down music.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
It's like Seinfeld.
almost exactly. It's just very bassy.
If Seinfeld was going down, like into like evil Seinfeld music.
That's true.
But do you know how many people it takes to steal one wallet?
That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
Who
knew it takes 6 people to complete a pickpocket?
Did you count?
I didn't. I think it was like 4.
6?
I think it was like a 4 handoff scenario though. But
What if that wall didn't have anything in it?
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, like, what if it was like $20?
That's what I mean.
It was like shit.
There's a lot of
it's a grand
people
network.
just walking around handing wallets to each other.
I love-
that may not have anything then in them.
It's completely
And
intricate.
then they give the wallet to a van.
I know, it's like take this.
Here.
I love how this group of hooligans is called the Foot.
Yeah.
It's a funny play off Marvel's The Hand.
Yes,
I was
exactly
thinking,
it
laying
is.
in bed, and I was wondering, like, man, I wonder if they like go together. That'd be so sweet to see like the
Hand
Teenage
and
Mutant,
Foot.
like Daredevil, like fighting with the TMTs, TMNTs. Like that'd be sweet. Netflix, sign it up.
Yeah,
But
that's
no,
what I call Marvel crossovers. So I mean,
it was just a
still,
playoff,
it's just-
but I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
Foot in the
interesting.
hand.
Like, I wonder if there's the head, or if there's
They're
the,
probably. you would
thigh.
wonder that. You're
the
so
leg.
gross. That's all Wyatt wonders about this. The head.
the ankle.
All right.
But I mean, I always thought it was kind of funny because I mean, this movie was considered dark. Even when
It was pretty dark.
It was,
I mean,
it was
it's
very dark.
toned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For a kids movie, the cartoon wasn't dark.
I mean, I wouldn't even really necessarily. I mean, it was a kids movie based off a kids cartoon, but I mean, it is pretty dark. I mean, it's good.
And these graphic novels, Chris, they aren't as happy-go-lucky as the TV
They didn't
show.
look like it.
No,
you were,
not
you
at
were
all.
looking
There's,
through.
there's death. There's killing. There's a lot of killing in
They
these
go to
comics.
space.
Well, I
they
hope
go all
they're
over
graphic
the place.
novel. I mean,
Yeah.
I would hope so. But I mean, like I said, I always thought it was funny that they have. There's one turtle that uses swords, which has always made me laugh because there'd be like arms everywhere and
You would think there would be.
Yeah, no.
but they never ever.
He
was a
only
severed
uses
hand.
them to like block things with. and then
maybe
kicks
he
people.
cuts with like the back or something. I always thought that when I was young, I always thought that was funny because there's a bow staff and some nunchucks and size can do some damage, but you have a fucking sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That
there's
shit's
no
cutting
limbs.
heads off and whatnot.
No limbs.
No.
But no, you never see limbs flying off. That'd be a super graphic.
Oh,
That would be the
That'd a
rated
way to-
R version.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would.
That
They
would be
should
the
do.
rated R version.
So my question for you guys is, why don't they do animatronics nowadays more? Because it literally.
I think
mean, it
because
was
of
80s.
I think because of the human labor and like the time it
Well,
takes
fuck that
to do.
shit. We
I
pay
know.
for this. We pay for the movies to go see it.
Oh, totally. But isn't it crazy though that like once CGI became a thing, they talked about how expensive that shit is.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
kind of like what?
Yeah, it's either- I
think it's also a dearth of talent. Like there's no talent.
Right.
That could be true.
There's
All that talent there.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more amazing than just watching the animatronics work. Even the making of the movie, but watching while the movie's happening.
Yeah.
They still do
there's some of those.
like for Underworld per se. I mean, they have done animatronics still, which is
Do they?
awesome.
That-
But I mean, like I said, can you imagine that exactly? I've actually said this to Wyatt before. And can you imagine these films being remade right now using the same practical effects that they used in 1990? I mean,
It'd be interesting to see if the quality would be better or if it would suffer.
I mean-
like the pyramids.
But think about like using wire work.
They've had 27 years to get better with
Yeah.
the smaller servos and
Yeah, for sure.
like I think they can
Totally.
do everything
Well, think about
wirelessly
about
now.
the suits and the ability to resew and be able to make it more skin forming and maybe lighter weight to where
Totally.
they can
Yeah.
they can kick some major ass in this and use. You can use wire work. You can use maybe a little CGI here and there to make things mesh.
Yeah.
But I mean, I bet
just
if
feels
they
like-
didn't do what they did with the newer Turtles using all CGI, I think they would have gotten way more practical. It would have been a lot more eye appealing.
Well, and for 1990, it's shocking the range of motion that these actors have under these
Right.
suits. Which
Completely.
is not the case for our next movie that we'll be reviewing, RoboCop.
Right?
But the Turtles, yeah, like that, the costumes back then, and it's like the texture. You see like the bumps on the Turtles' faces when it gets close enough. It's just like amazing. Like it's amazing. Like it's somebody.
the makeup is just out of this world.
Yeah, somebody like put like some art love into that shit, that there's not enough of that
Right.
today. There's definitely some, but not enough.
I read that the helmets or the actual mask they fit so much animatronics into that little mask that was so uncomfortable for the actors to wear.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And there was a scene that I guess that when the fight between Raphael and Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And Casey Jones just kicks the shit out of him in some way, and like he goes into the trash can.
Yeah.
A Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
Ooh, that's stupid one sale, pal. Hey, what are you, some sort of punker?
Huh?
God, I hate punkers. Especially bald ones with green makeup. Wear masks over ugly faces.
That scene, the stunt actor, when he fell into the trash can, smashed his nose and all the animatronics right up into his face, and he broke his nose.
Oh shit!
I mean, because there's no leeway. You're jam packed with all those mechanisms.
Yeah, no, and then the battery and everything is in the turtle back shell part.
Yeah. It takes 6 people to complete one turtle.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's
just doing the animatronics, the actors,
the eyeballs.
Yeah,
the eyeball. Yeah, one person controlled the mouth, one person controlled the eyes, and 2 people in the suit because there was a stunt double and there was an actual actor,
right?
And then the voice.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like 6 people for one turtle.
And then, so that part of the movie when Casey Jones and Raphael meet,
right?
Like that's just like weird. It's like Raphael's like, I'm going out, and he goes and sees Critters, which by the way we should watch. But it's funny because it's like there's so much about this movie that that kind of like people recognize that they're turtles and they're like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? And then there's like times where Raphael's walking around New York with a trench coat and a hat on.
It's like, how do you not see that?
Yes. And even if you like people would stare, that's just the way society is.
Oh, it's New York. This is normal.
But I did think it's like I was kind of like in the movie, like throughout the movie, I'm like, they don't take their knee pads or elbow pads off at all.
Never.
Like, I just want to see like one of the turtles be like, oh, are we done for the day? Okay, I'm going to take his fucking knee pads and elbow pads off because I don't wear shoes, so I got to do something to get comfortable.
You would think you'd have to like use like lotion or something someday because you're just like...
Turtle wax, Jason.
Oh, that's right. I fucking forgot. That's right.
They answered that question in the movie, buddy.
Yeah, they did. That's right. Yes.
I mean, that was the scene where Casey Jones is really like imposing his dick into April O'Neil's bubble.
Oh,
and
trying
then
very
Michelangelo cock blocked him basically with his turtle wax joke.
Well, one part that I thought was hilarious about this movie, because going back to the being the dark and edgy part, especially when you're watching the cartoon, and Raphael, I mean, for some reason he loves the word "damn."
Yeah.
And I just remember like when I was a kid, he's like, "Damn," and I thought it was like you could have used not that word maybe. I mean, and like just him yelling. Him yelling would have probably portrayed the exact same emotion. But I mean, he said "damn" like multiple times. I was like, that movie was being edgy at that point because like, what can we do not to cross over into the rated R or the PG-13 like realm? We'll say "damn."
They're like, this evil Seinfeld music isn't enough. We need some more edginess. Yeah, well, I was gonna say about the edginess, like that just reminds me. It's like it cracked me up the whole scene when they finally reveal what's going on inside the warehouse of the Foot and the recruiting, like the kids ranging from ages, I'm gonna guess like 10ish, 12ish, up to like 18. Mingling, gambling. Hanging out.
There was like a 7-year-old smoking a cigar.
Oh, dude, let's be honest.
Listening to rap music.
I'd spend a Saturday there.
Totally. It seemed very fun.
Oh, that's where they grab you. It's the perfect. It's the perfect.
It's a day-way drug.
Crime organization. You got cast out children. You got nowhere else to go. You give them food, a place to hang out, and they just fucking rob everything.
It kind of makes me wonder if, like, I mean, this Shredder's strategy because nobody who's actually an adult would take him seriously with his clothes on when he was like making his proposal to take over New York City.
Well, you saw the children looking at each other like, what the fuck? What is this guy wearing?
This is the first time I've ever seen this guy.
like, this is what we're following. It unraveled quickly.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
Casey Jones didn't have to do much talking. He's like, yeah, this is family. Do you see what this guy wears? And it's like, oh yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. You know, like I'd bail too.
But
I will say, so how do you feel about Splinter being a puppet and not having the animatronics or not having the actor anymore?
I love that. You know, I mean, because I don't expect Splinter to be the guy doing all that much. So I mean, having that like really realistic feel of, you know, this kind of creature, and you know, I mean, he you know, in the other movies, like in the new ones, I mean, it's just off the wall. But I mean, you get the realism, and you know, he's old.
It was enough. Yeah.
He's old.
It was very Yoda-esque to me.
Exactly.
You know?
Totally. And he was played by Kevin Clash, who does Elmo. I don't know if you knew that.
No,
I didn't know that.
Big Sesame Street personality.
Well, there you go.
Oh, for sure.
I never saw that.
That's excellent.
But yeah, the Splinter thing, I think they did that as a full-on puppet, probably because even in the cartoon, it's like he's half the size of the turtles. He's a rat. It just like I think it would be weirder to have a person in a costume.
It's true. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I just wanted to see what you thought about it.
But I also thought Splinter's flashbacks were pretty exciting with the stop motion animation.
Yeah, with the little turtles. They're cool.
Those are very reminiscent of the graphic novels, like that side story with Azuka or whatever, or what's
Orokosaki.
Orokosaki.
And Yapamoto Moshi. Or Yoshi. Yatamoto Yoshi.
I watched my master.
Amato Yoshi. I'm sorry. I was getting it wrong. No, the stop animation was and it was funny because, you know, the scene where I think it was Michelangelo, probably, I don't know, biting the pizza, and he sells pizza. The guy who said that was Ryan Stiles.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently. I don't know. I just read that the other day. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Did you know that the guy who played Michelangelo in the suit was also the pizza guy at the beginning?
Yes,
I heard there was a couple.
I read that too.
Yeah, they all kind of had cameos.
Didn't one of the Ninja Turtles actors actually play the voice too?
Yes, it was Josh. I don't know how to spit. Pius.
Yeah, that's
Pius,
right.
Yeah, he was the only one that did the actual acting and also voiced the character.
Ah, man.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Another little weird thing that I had no idea, but one of the stunt actors, we all know. Oh wow, I need to find his name. Ernie Reyes Jr.
Oh yeah, Ernie
Reyes Jr. Yeah, well, he's a fantastic martial artist. But anyway, Donatello's stunt guy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
He's not here anymore.
Yes,
with us.
Yes, he is.
No,
Ernie Reyes.
Yeah,
he's alive and well.
Really?
Absolutely. We've had the discussion before, Chris.
Have we?
Yeah,
we have.
I'm not going down to the books.
I do remember that.
I don't know.
No, let's hash this out real quick. Who am I thinking of? Because one of those actors passed away. I thought it was him.
Well, Ernie Reyes Jr. did have a brief stint.
Yeah, he had some
severe illness,
kidney issues,
but I believe he did survive.
All right. Well, if anyone's listening.
Yeah,
we need some. I guess I can just Google it, but it's more fun to have someone else do it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, because
okay. Well, if he's still here, then and he's listening, I apologize.
I think he's on Facebook.
All right. Anyway, so is he in the second one?
No, he's in this too.
But he's not.
But he actually plays a character. He actually plays himself.
Yeah, he's in the next movie. Okay. But he actually takes over the stunt guy.
I think I might like that one better.
For Donatello.
Yeah, he's Donatello's karate.
Yeah. in the latter half of the film, he is. But no, I thought that was really crazy because I mean I knew from just saying that he was in the second one, and he kicks some major shit, and I loved his character in that one.
Oh, yeah.
But no, learning that he did actually end up, that's probably why he got the part for the second one. You know, obviously coming in and displaying his amazingness, and you're like, yeah, and he can act too. But they probably didn't know
he had to be popular by then though. I mean, he was in like Sidekicks. I don't know if you remember that show in the 80s.
God. I don't really remember that.
The show or the movie with Chuck Norris?
There was a show, not the movie with Chuck Norris.
Oh, I like that movie.
Doesn't that have Jonathan Brandis?
It does.
Oh yeah,
it does. But he has a Facebook though. See, fuck you. That's what I'm talking.
Dude, I'm telling you, look it up. Ernie Reyes is live.
So
that's what you're doing. I knew that's what you were doing.
I don't know, guys. It's one of those movies that I can literally bring out. I hope that when I'm 50 years old, I can bring that out and it still looks and feels good. You know, as good as the music does. It does. It's very 80s. You know, so if you were to take that out and give it like a newer touch with maybe some different kind of bass line and I think I think the tone's 80s, but other than that, I think it's a great movie that would come out today. Just like another podcast we're gonna do, which is RoboCop. It's one of those movies that
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I think like it's dated because of those elements into it, but like the practical effects, even the martial arts that are slowed down, for the sake of costumes and probably just kids' eyes, like
probably, because always it would be extremely dark.
It's still fun, It's like not amazing anymore, but it's awesome.
No, it's not. It's not amazing anymore, but it is at the same time. It's still really amazing.
So I have one little observation that I kind of found interesting. I feel like I've seen this so many times, especially in like the late 80s, early 90s. But why do so many nemesises have, when they're viewing stuff, they always have to have so many televisions? There's always drastic amounts of TVs. And you're only watching one.
So
you've got to have 30.
So they can throw knives into them.
Well,
you have to destroy them throughout the movie. That's true.
But if you think about it, today there's just in the movies now there's just one giant TV. They didn't have that in the 80s. They had to have 45, 32-inch TVs because
it was just ridiculous.
That was the biggest TV you can afford in the 80s. But you're right. It
was like a 12-inch television. That's all we could do.
I call it the wall of eyes, and there's always a wall of. What'd you say?
Here's Ernie Reyes' IMDb. There's no death.
There's
just a Bourne. There's just a Bourne.
He's still around.
Well, he's very fun to watch. I think he was in the movie called The Rundown with The Rock. Is that him?
Yeah, that is exactly him. You're
right.
Good.
He's a good actor. I enjoy him.
He's always been good. He's great.
All right, well.
So get back into the movie. It's like, so what I found that was pretty funny is like, not really funny, but it just like the whole, like when you meet April O'Neil and she's coming out of there and you finally see first action of the Turtles and it's, the sigh flipping through the air and it crashes into that, into lamp.
The street light,
and then all of a sudden you hear the patented, we're not seeing action yet because it probably costs too much money. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just tying up a hog without the hog sound,
it's just slicing arms off. And
it's like Leonardo was there, but it was Roth instead.
Exactly. Especially when the lights go off. How do those swords not just? I don't want to go back to that every time. It's the one thing I don't get about this movie
because Leonardo is a softie. He's
very skilled, so I can see maybe
Yeah, I mean Splinter was like, "You get the katana because you're a pussy and you will never cut anybody up."
He said that. It is very dark. That must be straight from the graphic novel as well.
Oh yeah, no, they said it in the movie, but they cut it out.
Yeah.
Like, Michelangelo, you get the nunchucks because you're a jackass.
Yeah.
When did they have those conversations? I didn't hear them talk to each other that much.
Page 50.
Maybe we'll bring those out later.
Volume 2.5.
Yeah, we'll have to.
We'll read from the script later.
Yeah. But no, I thought the dynamic of the characters. I mean, even like when the guy who plays, I think was it Michelangelo who delivers the pizza, and he was supposed to be the guy in the suit. Mm-hmm. It's just really funny because there's a number of parts in the movie when they all play cameos in the film. Mm-hmm. Like all the actual guys in the suits play cameos, and Raphael is the guy who's in the taxi cab.
Right.
Yeah, and he jumps in. Raphael actually jumps over the cab, and like the guy in the backseat is the guy who plays. Yeah, and it's like that's hilarious to me, and I think it was Donatello's, I believe it was. He was the one who confronted April O'Neil in the subway and slapped her in the face.
Oh,
that foot messenger. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool because you got to give him a little bit of screen time. It's like you're doing all this extra work.
That was a very interesting scene. I always thought that was a funny scene. Just slaps her. He's like, shut up, or he's like, stop it, or whatever.
And then she just, beats him with a purse. Yeah. That's the first obvious.
He asks her questions. She starts to talk. He slaps her. He says, shut up. Like, whoa, this foot is legit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think he would have kicked her because he's the foot. And the hand would have slapped her.
Your mouth may yet bring you much trouble, Miss O'Neil. I deliver a message. Shut it.
Oh man, too much.
This is bad.
Too much.
I love it. But no, I mean, down when he gets her life saved, and she finally meets the turtles. Yeah. And she wakes up, and she's like, oh, and it's all that weird shit, and I think that's what starts to bug me about her is because I really didn't buy her too much.
Yeah.
As the whole. I mean, she was an okay actress. I mean, she pulled. I mean, I don't know. It was just.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah. Well,
I enjoyed it.
I like the fact that you didn't, and that's all good.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought coming here tonight we would all be in agreement about her. So
no,
I'm fairly disappointed actually.
But what's his name? Elias Koteas or whatever, the guy that played Casey Jones. On the other hand, he fit the bill perfectly.
Oh, I
thought he did well.
Yeah, I loved him.
30 years ago, 30 years ago.
I thought it was funny though that like his costume was so accurate, but all it is sweatpants and like cut off and a hockey mask, which he like takes off and then never puts back on.
Yeah.
No, I think it was just an homage, and then
I know, but come on, he's supposed to put that on when he fights.
That's what I think so too. And actually, I believe throughout the film he fights worse without the hockey mask.
Well, because you see him like his facial expressions and his hair getting in his face, like he always just looks like he's like kind of like annoyed with the fighting situation.
He's like actually fighting his hair throughout the film.
Yeah.
Well, especially when he fights Tatsu, and he just gets his ass kicked. I mean, it's bad. But I mean,
But I mean, Tatsu's a badass, and he's just kind of. I'm surprised. Tatsu's kind of a softie. Like when he gets super angry, he goes and maybe hits a kid or two. But overall, I mean, he's walking through that fucking pavilion of prepubescent, just orgy status shit, and he's just like, "Yeah, good job. Keep corrupting your young lives."
I actually found that to be hilarious.
No shame.
That the fact is that he couldn't even do his actual voice. They had to actually have a voice actor for him.
Really? He was dubbed?
Yeah, he was dubbed. I guess he was super, super ridiculously
Japanese or whatever.
I guess. Because his name was Toshiro Obata. But I mean, I guess he couldn't speak English or something. But anyway, the guy who did Tatsu's voice was Michael. Oh Christ! I can't even reach McConaughey, something like that. I apologize.
Wait,
I'm sorry if I just destroyed your name.
Like he's related to Matthew McConaughey.
I think he's Matthew McConaughey's brother.
McCona.
Is that why Tatsu was like, "Hey, guy, all right."
Like I said, I apologize.
Like that doesn't match up at all.
all right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, he couldn't even go. Apparently, he couldn't even do that. I guess
he couldn't grunt. Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
They dubbed his grunt.
I don't know if he did that. But he had like two lines.
In Japanese.
Maybe he grunted like a woman. Maybe he was like.
He sounds like a goose apparently.
Well, I know he had one line for sure, and he was "Never lower your eyes to an enemy." That's one line that I know he had. For
Which is so stupid because like in that culture, when if you beat someone up and then you block and then you bow, it's like you bowed. It's not lowering your eyes. You just bow.
I think it's like because up until that point you're like, hey. Why does anybody have a problem with what's going on here? And then he's like, "Oh, never better your enemy." And it's like, okay, they're like the Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You get your ass beat if you.
They wear black geese.
They do. They have a dragon on the front.
Yeah. Oh my god. But and then they, after all that shit, and they save her, and she does the ridiculous, and then they walk. I mean, the sewer scene was pretty cool. I mean, because that was iconic for me. Because like, how disappointed were you in Chico when you actually saw the manhole open up and it was like so not like that?
Yeah, it was like
you're like, oh, pissed. It's like you can't walk down there.
No, that's pretty narrow. There's nothing going down there.
Yeah, I was quite pissed about that when I was a kid. And they take her back to the antique store, and
and then she's like, I mean, the turtles. Like, they like their pizza, but, I don't care what mutant you are or animal. If you nothing but pizza, you're going to be shitting bricks, man. Like that. Like, I'm just like...
That's not going to be good.
Turtle digestive system is a little different than yours, Wyatt.
Like, give those turtles some lettuce. Or something like that.
They eat, other than pizza, they just enjoy pizza. Like, if you're going to have a choice...
Sure? I don't want to think about turtle farts.
It sure seems like all they eat is pizza.
I had a turtle once, and I just fed it lettuce and cantaloupe. So maybe they eat a lot of cantaloupe.
What was your turtle's name?
Donatello, actually.
Yeah, really?
It had to have been.
It was.
It had to have been at least a Ninja Turtle.
Speaking of Donatello, it was, and we let him out in the yard, and he was gone. He ran away. Like that's a true story. We used to let him out. My dad would do.
Slow. How did you? Did you
my dad
leave
would
him there for hours?
My dad would smoke, and we'd put him outside, and he would never leave. And then one day he just wasn't there anymore. Like that's a true story. I mean, he was an old turtle, so we had to do something with him.
Maybe he found some ooze and
that's what I chose to believe.
He could be living
gruesome
today.
legs.
My dad could have just flushed him. I don't know. He could have just told me that story. I have no idea. But I chose to believe it. Anyway, speaking of Donatello, we got this far into this without mentioning
what
the Corey Feldman podcast.
Yeah.
Because I chose this instead of Jurassic Park this time because I didn't want to do Spielberg.
Yeah.
And I happened to choose another movie with Corey Feldman, and so we're either the Spielberg Feldman podcast or something. We're gonna get away with this.
I think you fell right into the Feldman trap. Is what
I
it
did.
sounds like to me.
Apparently, he's in all the '80s movies.
It's
that
not
we
their fault that they do great '80s films. It's just it's not their fault.
It is. It's not their fault, but it is kind of
ironic.
It's funny
weird.
when you start thinking about the movies that these people aren't in or didn't make, and you're like, well, yeah, of course we're going to do that movie eventually, but why do we keep doing all the Spielberg ones now?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, why don't my brain? So I just wanted to throw that out there. So thanks, Feldman for.
Yeah,
his movies must have grossed quite a bit because if I remember right, this one grossed. Didn't this one gross quite a bit?
Well, domestically and worldwide, I think it was a little over 200 million, which was pretty amazing for 1990.
I remember being.
That's pretty amazing for
this was the first movie I saw where I was in such a packed movie theater that I couldn't sit next to the people I went to.
Oh no! I think we talked about earlier, that was the largest grossing independent film.
Have you guys lived in Chico? I asked this last time. A long time?
Yeah, I saw it at the Senator.
I've been here since '84.
It was at the Senator.
Yeah,
I thought it was at the El Rey.
That was The Secret of the Ooze. That was at the El Rey.
Oh,
so we did see it. Okay, because I know we didn't have. Anyways, unless you're in Chico, California, it
doesn't really matter. I suppose.
But if you are in Chico, shout out to Chico. Hometown rights.
Back in the day when there was 3 different movie theaters, but now there's only one.
It was special. It was special too. My dad took me to see this movie. So I like I said, growing up, I had a young connection with this movie, and it still lasts.
For sure.
Getting through it. I mean, we get to the scene where they come through the kitchen. Raphael's all beat up. They're fighting in the apartment. There's always thousands of feet. Just the feet keep on coming.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it doesn't seem like they give.
You have to call them feet.
Yeah, plural.
Yeah, you really
they don't give a lot of kids masks.
No.
Shredder came out for one dude. It's like all that fanfare for one guy. So
well, and it's I do think it's funny how it's like until you're actually initiated, like there's no problem with like just your face being shown to everybody.
Yeah, you probably never see him.
You're not anonymous until you like get initiated into it, and then it's like, okay, now you can put a mask on. So
they never explain what you have to do to get initiated either. I wonder how, like, if you're 7 smoking a cigar and playing roulette,
right,
and you're not initiated, what the fuck do you have to do to get in?
You'd have to steal. That's about it, I think.
Well, they all steal.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it.
Speaking of Danny's dad.
Oh, right. Charles,
real
fuck up of a dad.
He's
it seems like,
He seemed like a pretty douche.
I did like that scene though where April was like, Danny, your father's gonna have kittens.
Well, that was a shitty thing back in the 80s, having kittens.
You don't want kittens.
No, you didn't want not plural, not multiple kittens.
No. Good point.
It's a different time.
Well, I mean, can you imagine being like a single dad who works all the fucking time? Yeah, I mean,
no, but I can also imagine being like, nicer to your kid. So since
that kid was a little, he was a little bastard though. In all defense,
totally.
No, he was.
He was. I mean, he stole money right out of April's purse and stuff.
I want to digress just for a split second. I read this and I was like kind of shocked, and because we were talking about Corey Feldman, he was only paid $1,500 for his voiceover acting.
How many? It's probably like $45 a word. He didn't say many words.
Well,
are you talking about Corey Feldman?
Yeah, he was only paid $1,500 for this, and apparently he took it because of the time he was expecting this to be a release to VHS, which was at the time $24.99. You keep thinking that fuck, prices for movies is ridiculous. It's been ridiculous always. But the fact is like he was only paid $1,500 for this, and I read this on IMDb, so
that's crazy.
Kind of taking that it's a little bit credible.
Wow, most of what we do is get from there. So
all I can say.
Hopefully.
But with the anticipation that this movie was going to be basically just released from this to home video, basically, and it ended up grossing $200 million. Well, yes, because eventually.
So I wonder what his royalties are. Like, he probably doesn't.
Nothing.
Shit.
I'm assuming he got dick for this.
Park rind. Walk rhyme.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that. Because this movie was like, it became a phenomenon, really. Just ridiculous amounts of money to be made.
The people like us, though, it was like we were excited that. I mean, like I remember the marketing for this movie was decent enough to the point where they had like the stupid little adapted paperback version of this movie on a book, you know,
right.
And the soundtrack, which I had. TURTLE power. TURTLE power.
Totally.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. So I mean, there was enough of that shit going on to where, like I said, like when I went to the theater within the first weekend, packed movie theater. So that's kind of surprising that his agents or whatever, or even the fact that it's an independent film, like.
I think that probably had something to do with it. That it was an independent film.
He was probably also fucked up on pills. Teenage Mutant Ninja, what? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know. Looking at it at the time, animatronics and a bunch of weird puppets and stuff. Maybe I can see where he might not even have seen the movie. Well, they might give him lines to read, and he might have just read some lines. I mean, we're gonna make this animatronic Ninja Turtle movie. Come and read some lines. He's like,
here's
okay, $1,500 for my heroin and all.
Yeah, I don't know.
So when are we gonna send an email to Corey Feldman and tell him to come on the Feldman podcast?
Well, that'll be next.
He's probably gonna sue us soon. So we said his name like 4 times in every podcast.
Yeah. He's like,
he hasn't Beetlejuiced us.
Talking about me. For the love of fucking God, stop.
You can't say his name more than 3 times. He's gonna show up.
Beetlejuice Corey Feldman here. Feldman.
So I have to say,
stand by me.
I found it. I mean, after everything goes down and all the crazy fight scenes and the whole antique store burns to the ground and they go to the house out in the woods.
Yep.
And the farmhouse. We'll say, yeah. And I have to say, it's like I was the first time I ever heard the word pork rind. was this movie. I never even knew what a pork rind was until this film. So thank you, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for introducing me to the word pork rind.
That's funny.
And
which are gross, by the way.
But they sold it to me. I was
there you go. That's another thing they eat, pork rinds. So fuck you. Pizza and pork rinds. That's a solid diet. You can get most of half a triangle off that.
So basically, their diet's made off of oil. I mean, that's all it is.
It's just basically carbohydrates.
They just
pork.
It's got to be diarrhea all the time.
Yeah.
I will say they won't eat penicillin pizza.
No.
So they'll cut it off there. They do have limits.
They definitely have their limits.
Well, they don't have disease that requires
I like how Danny didn't even know the pizza was moldy. They're like, hey, you got pizza? He's like, oh yeah, I got that the other night. And they're like, you want...
Like, you've been down there and you don't eat?
Well, he was eating, obviously, but it's like you would think he would be like...
Yeah, no, that pizza's moldy, man.
That pizza's moldy.
Yeah, it's been down there for a week, bro.
Yeah.
The fact that he was down there for like a week anyway.
Yeah.
It's like...
What do you think? Do you think the turtles just shit in the sewers and like let it go down?
I've seen turtle poop. It's gross. It's not very...
Well, you had a turtle.
Yeah, no, it looks like Hershey's Kisses.
Because I mean, like, what I'm wondering is like, what is Danny doing down there? Is he just like pissing and shitting in the little turtle pot?
There'd be a bunch of human-sized Hershey Kisses everywhere.
All this.
That'd be hard to live with. Is all I'm saying.
Seriously though, I mean, he was the one that ratted him out, and then he goes and hides in their hideout for like.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they get there and they're not like
quadruple agent.
You would think if that movie was a little bit darker, and well, maybe it's because Danny, he was a kid. You don't want to be that mean to him, but yeah, like he ratted him out, and then like he's hiding out in their hideout, and they just get down there and they're like, Danny, what are you doing here? Your father's gonna have kittens. Oh, you got pizza? It's moldy. Nah, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, penicillin.
Yeah,
and then Casey Jones is claustrophobic, and then he does like this weird thing where he's like, "No, I've never even looked at a guy that way." Like some stupid homophobic joke because it's the '80s. And
that's claustrophobic. Hey, yeah, I don't even know how he would confuse that with like a homophobic. Okay, claustrophobic, homophobic. Okay, fine. He was just.
I bet you that was an improvised line.
What is all this talk about spending the night down here?
You're a claustrophobic.
You want a fist in the mouth? You've never even looked at another guy before.
I don't know.
It might have been. I don't know. I can't imagine that actually being written.
Did you guys see how many mess ups they had? Apparently, there was a lot of mess ups they had, which is not cutting out.
What can you imagine though? Like having dialogue with an animatronic.
That's true. You have so many people working. You just happen to not catch a worker.
Well. I couldn't imagine.
I thought they did good. They did a good job cutting the mess ups. There are quite a bit of mess ups in there though.
Oh yeah.
Well, which is fun. It's always fun to watch.
They should have taken I guess Shawshank came afterwards, but I was going to say, like, having Morgan Freeman's voice, narrating their scenes.
It would almost been better than no. But yes, Morgan Freeman.
That happens in the third one.
Well, I do want to bring up a scene. I mean, we're not too far ahead, which is nice. But I mean, the rooftop fight scene with Raphael on all the foot.
Probably the best fight scene in the movie.
Well, that's when you actually could see what the suits could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the whole time you're like, like I said, that was all you saw, and then that was it. And then all of a sudden, like, you finally see it's like, oh, shit, he can throw kicks and do ninja rolls and, actually do stuff. And it was like, and he actually held his own for the first, like, 30 seconds, 45 to a minute maybe. And then he proceeded to get his ass kicked. But I mean.
Because he had to keep, like, doing things like going like, oh, you can't hit me, and like hand gestures, like,
they had to keep it true.
But even though that he got his ass kicked, you still saw Raphael as a badass because he took on like 50.
Yeah, he did.
It had been about 50, and he held his own for a little bit, and and he was like, he's talking it up, it didn't matter, and even though he was starting to get his ass kicked, you could see he was like, you could probably get your ass kicked by that. Well, so he didn't really take away from that. So he's like, okay, even though he got his ass kicked, Raphael is still a fucking badass.
He is.
And he took it. So, I mean, that was something. And then he drops it right down in the middle.
If only he had two swords.
That's all
I feel like if Raphael was given the katanas, there would be a lot more limbs lost.
I'm just thinking it would be more realistic if all the turtles had swords. Is all I'm saying. They'd all have.
They started, didn't they?
One of them have a machine gun.
I think Raphael and Leonardo should have swapped weapons, based off of his attitude and his like character.
Are you kidding me? He would murder everyone.
But that's exactly what I mean.
They can let that happen.
He would just be like, "Go the rated R turtles."
Damn. It'd be rated R for sure. Cussing and slicing. That's all you do.
Oh my god. No, that would have been perfect.
This has been an interesting podcast. I'm glad we went there together.
Oh yeah. Well. Anyway.
And so then he goes and sleeps in the truck. And then he sees Danny come out of the sewer, and Danny runs as fast as he can back to the Foot Clan area.
But before he gets in, he puts his headband on.
Well, we have to. You got to show
because you have to show that you're part of it.
You're a quadruple agent. You can't.
Yeah.
So Casey Jones follows them there, and they find the raton, which is Spanish for rat.
Yeah. But I have to. I love that when he's in there and he's walking around, and he takes down the foot and like. Changes into the outfit real quick, and he gets up and he's like all proud of himself, and he does all these like little fist jabs and shit. Like he's like, yeah, I'm a fucking foot soldier now. It's like, it was like fucking hilarious. But then, yes, right after that, it's like when he finally finds Ratatouille.
It was weird too. It's weird because no one ever has expressions like, well, I guess April did for a minute, but everyone sees these turtles and for the first time, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah, they're just like
gas turtles.
Oh, hey, freak! It's like, dude, this is not a freak. This is like
that's a fucking mutant turtle.
Yeah,
he can talk and he fights.
That garners more than name calling. Yeah. Like if I saw a turtle, I wouldn't just be like, freak, get out of here. I'd be like, what the fuck
is this?
Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. I've never seen it.
Well, I definitely wouldn't like ostracize him and be like, you freak.
The reason I said that is Casey Jones, he sees Splinter for the first time and kind of gives him like this one over, like, okay, it's a rat.
Yeah, totally.
Help him out. Yeah, he totally goes, huh?
It's not the craziest thing
you've
seen.
Where's the keys? Yeah.
There's Ninja Turtles. It's a rat. Nah,
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we're also missing the fight between Casey Jones and Tatsu, which was hilarious too. I mean, like for some reason, Casey Jones at that moment forgot how to fight.
I don't think so. I don't think he forgot how to fight. I think he was just showing.
He can't fight without sports equipment, guys.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That's what it was. You're right. And
he needs sports equipment to fight.
Well, he was being the smart ass fighter. He was being like come get me first. Tire yourself out. And so all the kids got to see this. Their master be a doof and get beat.
And I saw a guy who has a lot of heart, who can't fight worth shit, but can hit a baseball and a hockey puck far.
Yeah. It's on.
Yeah, that's all you need.
You're a superhero. It's all good.
Yeah.
Add that purple uniform that Shredder's wearing, and that's all you need. You're out of here.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just jump, obviously, right to the very end, where pretty much all that matters.
They climb the ladder. Get on top of a roof.
And they fight Shredder. And Shredder comes out.
Sparkling purple
glory. Sparkling pinky. Oh, he felt really awesome right there.
It was like a Prince concert, guys. It was like
I did enjoy his cape though. He had a cool cape.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear it outside.
That Tatsu or whatever had to roll off, kind of weird, and it took forever.
And I did notice that I loved it too.
So dramatic.
When he's not in his, lair, his voice isn't amplified.
Yeah.
When he's out of it, it's like, I'm still me, but I'm not amplified.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
quite
I don't have that as menacing
ominous
voice as he once had. But I mean, it didn't matter when he was talking to Tatsu or when he was actually talking to everybody. His voice was super amplified. But then he's on the fucking rooftop, and it's just like, I'm Shredder. But the fight was. Well,
apparently the Ninja Turtles' worst enemy is a stick because they weren't very good against that bow staff.
No,
that Shredder has.
And it was a massively large metal toothpick. It was just spiked on both sides. It was terrible because he loves spikes, obviously. But I mean, the whole fight was, they just got their ass kicked. There was no unity.
Yeah, I don't understand why Splinter never taught them to fight as one.
Right.
Fight together. Not flipping and jumping over each other one by one and then just...
Yeah.
But I believe they kind of talk about that in the other movie, I guess, a little bit. But from what I remember, I can't remember exactly.
It's because they're immature.
Yeah. They're teenagers, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's something like it's so easy to lose track of in this movie.
I lost it right now. You're right.
They're gigantic and they're muscly and like...
Yeah. You think they're like 30.
But what are they in Turtle years, though? I mean, they have to be... They're like 45 in Turtle years.
So teenagers, so maybe like they're just 2. I don't know.
I don't know when turtle years are.
I don't either. I think they're longer than human years. So.
You're the one that owned a turtle. You said your turtle was old. How old was it?
Oh, I had him for like 8 years. I had him for a long time.
So he'd be like 4 or 3.
Yeah, turtle years are longer than human years, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Well, no, the tortoises, when they're huge,
they live like 150 years, bro.
Yeah.
That's a long time. It's like Moses.
So they're probably like, 14.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably 12 or 13.
Who knows?
Yeah, they skate. They don't drive, do they?
I've never seen them drive.
They had the Turtle Man in the animated series, but not in this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they didn't drive.
Apparently, they drive in the animated series, but not in this. But I mean, the fight was subpar. It was kind of lame, and then Splinter comes up the ladder, and it's like he does this crazy, nunchuck wrap around the spear and just throws him over. And my favorite part, though, he falls into the garbage truck, and then Cage Segones goes,
like,
oops, and just like blatantly just turns it on and just crushes his ass. I mean, so that, I mean, I
think it was the only person that died in the whole movie.
Body count was probably 1.
Yeah,
but then he didn't because he showed up in the next one. But anyway, who cares?
That's true. Splinter never dies.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, the climax was okay. It kind of worked. I mean, it brought everybody together, and so. Yeah, so anyway, let's do some bad impressions. It's time for bad impressions.
Bad impressions.
All right, so last time we did this, and we basically what it is we just kind of pull some lines from movies, and we try to guess based off the impression of what line and what movie and who says it. Mm-hmm. I think Wyatt should go first then.
I will.
And
all right,
go.
I'll take these Huggies and whatever cash you got.
Oh my God. Huggies and whatever cash you got.
Say it again.
I'll take these Huggies and whatever cash you got.
It's not Raising Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Nick Cage.
Because that's going to be, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a movie we're going to be doing up here in the future, folks.
Yeah, in the next couple episodes, probably.
That was pretty good, though, because that was Nick Cage.
That sounded familiar, so I guess I have seen that movie a little bit. Okay, so I missed that.
Sure, I could have stayed in the past. Could have even been king. But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, that sounds familiar, too.
I don't have the rasp on my voice.
I have no fucking clue.
Sure, I could have stayed in the past. Could have even been king. But in my own way, I am king. Hail to the king, baby.
Morgan Freeman. From
last time.
I got nothing.
It's Army of Darkness.
Oh, Army of Darkness. Damn it.
So
that should
Bruce
be one
Campbell?
That will be another one. I'll call that up.
Yeah, that should be definitely another one. All right, here's mine. Crap bigger than you. That's it.
Wait, say that again?
Crap bigger than you.
I crap bigger than you?
Yeah.
Men in Black?
No. It's I don't expect anybody to get this one. This was a random one that I used to watch when I was a kid, and it's City Slickers by Curly.
Oh, well, I've seen that movie.
It's not a great movie. It just,
yeah.
I liked a couple of the... anyway.
That's a good movie. You don't have to...
I liked it,
Don't now play City Slickers.
Yeah.
All right, okay, you guys ready? This is a hybrid. It's a blend. It's a blend of Kentucky bluegrass and some Northern California sensimilla. And you can play 18 on it and get home and get stoned up a Jesus.
Oh, that's Caddyshack all the way.
Yeah.
I would say Bill Murray's character.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, that's Carl.
You're just good at.
That was good. That was good. That was perfect. That was good.
All right, I'm gonna throw you a twister. Okay, there's a little knuckleball. Ready? There's only two things you've got to be going for yourself in this town: Jack and shit. And Jack just left town.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Oh my God, I know that one.
It's a curveball.
Oh.
There's only two things you've got going for yourself in this town: Jack and shit. And Jack just left town.
I know this.
It's Army of Darkness, you fuckers.
Another one?
That was the knuckleball.
Son of a
I gotcha.
God
damn it. All right.
Well played.
Yep,
All right.
gotcha good.
Okay, you did.
You got one more, Jason?
Yeah, I got another one. Census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver and fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That was easy.
Yeah, come on,
easy.
Hannibal Lecter.
Thank you.
Sounds lame.
What do we never seen?
Needed it. I think we kind of needed.
What have we
an
never
easy
seen a
one.
fucking movie? I got Wyatt's. I got Wyatt's.
We did.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. You know.
All right, well, thanks for playing.
Yep, that was fun.
All right.
I don't have any more Army of Darkness quotes, so there it is.
Okay. Is that all you got?
Smart. Shop S Smart.
Yep. Different time.
All right. Well, let's try to backtrack this a little bit just so we can close this out. And so, yeah. What else?
I also, not to backtrack too much, but I thought it was kind of interesting, like how the whole montage with April O'Neil talking about the turtles and drawing them, the sketches, you know.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like a kid and kind of being like, this really was it seemed like it was like written for adults at that point, you know.
Right.
You're like, I know who the turtles are. You don't need to like tell me that, you know. I don't know. I thought it was a really weird scene, and it always stuck out as something that was just kind of bizarre.
The only thing I wanted was actually a picture of that she drew. Other than that,
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I was like, oh, I'll take that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and
You know,
well, and by the way,
being
by the way, guys, she didn't draw them.
Yeah.
somebody else drew them. Some real artist.
Shit.
You ruined it for
So
me.
true.
I don't mean to bag on Judith Hogue, but
You definitely didn't draw that shit.
I guess we can just end it there. Thanks for ruining my life.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I love you, Judy.
Do you have one of those drawings signed by Judith?
My dad probably signed it for me. So. Now that you said that,
it's like your turtle ran away, but I got you this picture.
Yeah.
All right, that's way better to end on. If we have anything else, we're gonna close out this episode. So thanks for watching Cinema Slash Rehash.
Thanks for being here.
We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
Cowabunga. Huh? Cowabunga! I made a funny.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Cinema Stash Rehash. Be sure to give us some awesome iTunes reviews, like us on Facebook, don't forget to check out past episodes, and join us next time on Cinema Stash Rehash.